We just spent 4 nights in New York City and it cost us about $2,800. Today, we're gonna break down every single expense: our hotel, transportation, entertainment, food, you name it. And at the end of this video, we'll tell you if we think that it was worth it or not worth it for the price we paid. So this was our first time to New York City, so this is very much so a popular things that you do on your first time, AKA all the tourist trap stuff. But we spent 4 nights at the Marriott Marquis, which is in Times Square or Midtown Manhattan. And we flew in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport we actually went into LaGuardia and then flew back from JFK. So we hit both. So in this cost breakdown, I am going to remove our flights, but I'm going to tell you what we spent on flights because I don't know where you're flying from. So let's start with the hotel. Like I said, we stayed in Midtown Manhattan on Times Square at the Marriott Marquis. It is one of the premier hotels in New York City. We traveled in late October of 2025, and the prices I'm giving you are good in 2026, at least Q1. So a typical average night stay at the Marriott Marquis would cost you about $500 a night. For our duration, that'd be about $2,000 before taxes and fees, because I don't know what those are at the moment. Now, I will tell you, we got a better rate. We paid about $225 a night. But again, for the purposes of this, we're going to go with the $2,000 that you would have paid. Now, let's talk transportation. I'm not going to include the flights, like I said before, but we did fly first class from Dallas-Fort Worth to LaGuardia and then JFK back to Dallas-Fort Worth, and we spent about $1,800 on those flights. Now, as far as other transportation, we elected to take an Uber or a Lyft rideshare app from the airport to the hotel and then in reverse. And that ended up costing us about $95 from LaGuardia in the Times Square and about $120 from Times Square to JFK for our return home flight. Now, believe it or not, last but not least, on the transportation side of things, we used public transportation, so specifically the subway. Now, we paid about $2.70 every time you went into the subway system. It is changing in January 2026, so we're gonna go with the new number, which is $3. I know, big difference. We only did that a handful of times. It ended up costing us about $12 in total. Everywhere else, we walked. And any other transportation we did, it was included with a entertainment cost. All right, so as far as like activities, we did something called the CityPASS, which was essentially you can buy different levels. We opted for 4 different experiences each, and that ended up costing us about $225 per person, so about $450 total. And those 4 experiences for us, keep in mind there's many, many more, but we did the 9/11 Memorial, One World Observation Tower. We also did the Top of the Rock, which is the observation tower on 30 Rock. And then we did a sightseeing cruise around the waterfront. So that took us to Ellis Island, the Statue of Liberty, went to go see the Brooklyn Bridge, all those things. You don't get off, but you get to go see it. In addition to that, we spent about $75 total on other random little things. I don't know how to describe those things except for very touristy things like Lauren bought a t-shirt for $20, that kind of stuff. So again, not too many things on the activities list there. Again, we were working a little bit, but yeah, definitely had a few things here and there. So I tallied up all of our food and drink things that we did, and apparently we ate a lot. All in all, we ended up spending about $580 before tip on all of the food we did. And it was a very vast assortment of food. Well, hello. My math skills aren't very good, apparently. So as you can tell, based on this number right here, that $3,332, it's over $2,800. Apparently, when I was doing math, when I first started putting this video together, I messed something up, left something out, not really sure. So I do apologize, but this number is correct. Oops, sorry. Also, if you're curious more about the actual things we did, we have 2 videos that we did of actually when we were in New York. So all in all, was there something that really stood out to us as far as being overly expensive? Yes, food. I would say food by far was the biggest shock to our system, but we also kind of expected that. So it wasn't that big of a shock. So was there anything cheaper or maybe a better value than what we were expecting? Transportation. We were kind of weary about trying the subway for the first time. I think most people are, unless you're just from there. And I guess I didn't realize that it was so inexpensive and easy to use. So that for us was the best value, because we went all over the city and only spent $12 doing that. And so I would say don't be scared of the subway. Just do your research, do it the right way, kind of go with the flow and use it. It's very, very helpful and not that expensive. So all in all, we spent about $3,332. Now, like I said, I did not include tip because I don't know what you're going to tip, and the airfare was separate. So if you added the $1,800 in airfare, yeah, it starts to get up there for a 4-day trip to New York. We travel all different kinds of ways. Doesn't matter if it's a cruise, an RV trip, a traditional road trip, flying somewhere. Doesn't matter to us. If you want us to break down more costs in some of the different kinds of travel we do, drop a comment down below and let us know which version or what trip you'd like for us to do that with. And if you want to see more planning videos, make sure to check the link down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.